With 10 beekeepers in discussion, there will be 20 answers. I work with the 21st answer. I dare to be different. I call this the tech method.
Yeah, we're over at our Gumdale site and just about ready to start checking our hives to see how they're going. Hopefully there'll be enough honey in the top supers to extract again. Looks like we've got some Chalkdrood disease. You can see the mummies that are out on the front landing board where the bees have taken them out of the cells and left them out on the landing board.
Early in the year, in 2009, at the end of summer, there was quite a lot of rain and there was a lot of chalkbrood as the bees come under stress because they couldn't get outside to work. A lot of the beehives went backwards.
These mummies on the landing board, the bees have taken them out of the cells and have just dropped them there. You can get some bees that are cleansing bees that'll take them all out, and you'll get other bees that'll just leave them in the cells. Yeah, well, it's young brood that hasn't developed, and the disease has taken over in the cells. And then the bees will, as I say, if they're cleansing type bees, they'll remove those mummies out of the cells and outside of the hive. Other bees will just leave them in there, and that can overtake the hive. Right, we're getting now into the inside of the hive. A little bit of brood.
Subscribe to learn more.
A little bit of brood. They're only working the one side of the brood. You need to divide it up so that they're working the total width of the box.
Some brood on that one.
Yeah, you get more brood as we get over this left-hand side or right-hand side.
Yeah.
Right, there's a mummy that I've just pulled out. This frame here has got quite a few mummies in it. It looks like they have been pulling them out. So what we'll do here, I'll pull these out and help them to clear it. Mummies can be all different sizes because they're at all different stages. Oh, that'll do you.
If a larva is infected and cooled, spores may germinate in its body. The bees will check those cells out to see what is the problem with them.
Yes, you're flicking them out now.
Yep. I'll just help get rid of them out of the cells. There's in this particular frame, there's quite a few chalkbrood mummies in here.
Do they cap the mummies?
No. See there, see a little hole that the bees have opened up to see what's the matter with that cell. Now they have a chalkbrood mummy in it. There's a black one.
That means it's been there for a long time.
It's an older one. What I generally do if the hive's strong, I generally put this frame up in the honey super, and within a couple of days I'll clean it out, but this particular hive is not strong enough to be able to do that with.
Is there any other way to treat the hive besides that what you're doing?
A lot of them kill the queen, put a new queen in, but you still got to get rid of all these mummies that are in here, otherwise there's no good putting a new queen in, otherwise you still have the same problem. See where my hook is?
Yeah.
That's the start of a chalkbrood mummy. Sometimes the bees will supersede the queen also. Because there's not enough bees in this particular hive they're drawing a certain amount of it out of the cells, but there's just too much for them to completely draw the whole lot out. So I'm just helping them by taking some of the mummies out, many as I can. Then we'll rearrange the brood super, and I'll put a winter mat on this to keep the warmth in. If this hive was strong and put these brood up in the honey super for them to clean out, they clean this out within a couple of days to put honey in. It's been in the brood chamber, it'll just get left there until they just gradually do it, or they could go backwards altogether.
When bees come under stress, whether it is by reduced numbers in bees or by wet weather, chalkbrood can become a problem.
A few chalkbrood mummies in here.
Yeah.
What I do now is I wash my hands because the Chalkdrood disease is contagious. That's the tool that I use for pulling out my chalkdrood mummies. It's a piece of spoke from a wheel, sharpened to a point, and a slight curve on the end. The queen, there's the queen. She's only a young queen.
Yep.
Nice young queen. They've only been working this particular hive the one side. There's no honey in the brood chamber in this particular hive. The second super is empty and the top super is nearly full of honey. So what I need to do, because it's coming into autumn, I need to put a frame of honey on each outside to give them a little bit of warmth, and then we'll put a winter mat on there. Right, I'm taking a frame of honey out of the honey super and putting it into the brood super on the outside to give the bees some warmth. Because there's no honey in the brood chamber, and they need at least one frame of honey in the brood chamber.
On each side of the outside of the brood super to retain warmth.
That's another one.
Okay.
You put two in then.
You put one frame of honey on each side to the outside wall of the brood super. We're going to put a winter mat on to help keep warmth in the brood chamber, so the queen will increase in numbers. If you don't keep the brood warm, you'll find that this hive will go backwards and will probably die out. Right, we've now got a frame of honey on the outside wall of each side. The winter mat overlays to that frame to keep the warmth in. What I'm doing now is, this bottom super here is empty. This one here is nearly full, but it's got two of the empty frames from the brood chamber in it. I'll now knock this back to a 2 super high honey hive. You probably won't see them, but look on top here. That's what fell out as soon as I took the trap out.
6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah. This frame that I took out of the brood chamber, empty one, I put in the centre of the honey hive.
It is the utmost importance that 2 frames on either side of the beetle traps are removed of all propolis and wax.
I'll now put the trap back in, now that we've emptied it.
So as the beetle trap fits snugly in between the 2 frames and the cover fits snugly across the top. Otherwise the bees will populise between the grooves in the trap.
I don't want the beetles to, I don't want the bloody, what's something to touch
Holy
it out.
moly.
Right, this particular hive is now complete. And it'll probably stay a double till early spring, or till the blue gum and the iron bark starts to come out in force. Because at the present time, with this super here that's got no honey in it, the sticky that was put on 6 weeks ago, there's too much airspace in the hive for the bees to keep the hive warm. That's why we've already put a winter mat on, and it is now early April. So depending on the situation, you can put winter mats on early in the autumn, depending on the strength of your hive. Right, I'm just cleaning the entrance and getting all the chalkdrood mummies off the front entrance board of the hive to give them a better go at cleaning the hive.
This particular site only gets about 4 hours sunlight per day between spring and autumn. In winter it gets less sunlight and the area seems to be a lot cooler than if it was in full sunshine. After the hive was reassembled, it survived the winter and became another productive hive in the apiary.
All those little specks that's on the ground there, they're Chalkdrood disease, which has been flipped out of the frame.
Please like, subscribe and click the bell to my channels. Thanks for watching all Aussie content.